Hello there, welcome to Disney Parks Addict and the second episode of our new series, Best and Worst. For each episode, I invite another YouTube channel to discuss our favourite and least favourite choices on a particular topic. This week, the topic is Universal Islands of Adventure attractions, and I have invited Eric from Theme Park Avenue to share his choices. A link to his channel is in the description box below, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Hello everyone, I'm Eric from Theme Park Avenue, and I make videos on a lot of different parks, but there are a few that I like more than Islands of Adventure. So I'm really happy that Disney Parks Addict invited me to be on this video talking about one of my favorite theme parks. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on, Eric. Please check out his channel as he produces some great videos about many different theme parks from around the world. So Eric, let's start with our worst choices. What is the worst attraction at Islands of Adventure right now?
My pick for the worst ride was tough. I wasn't sure really if I should choose the ride that does the least or the ride that tries to do a lot but fails at the most. So I decided that the ride I'm deeming the worst, as controversial as this is Skull Island Reign of Kong. I have a review of this ride on my channel, but briefly I will point out I just don't have a lot of fun on this ride at all. I think it's boring, and I think most of the screens just don't work very well. There are benefits to it. I love the queue, the facade is really cool, and the Kong animatronic at the end is pretty strong. But for me, a few good technical aspects does not come close to making up for the lack of an engaging story. The ride system is not very good for me, and I know a lot of people really love this one, but between this and One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, at the very least, the latter does what it's supposed to do, provides a fun little spinner ride for kids. This ride just doesn't really entertain me. I know I'll get a lot of hate for saying this one, but I think this is technically my least favorite ride at Islands of Adventure.
That's a great choice. I think the attraction works well on the tram tour in Universal Studios Hollywood, but certainly misses the mark here at Islands of Adventure. For my choice of the worst attraction at Universal Islands of Adventure, I have chosen Doctor Doom's Fearful, over in Marvel Superhero Island. Although Doctor Doom is one of my favourite Marvel villains, I think this ride falls flat. This is simply an outdoor drop tower alternative, which can be found at plenty other theme parks around the world, and lacks in originality. I went on it for the first time when I visited the park in 2000 and have yet to re-ride it. There are just simply so many better attractions within the park that I would rather ride. It does offer some great views of the park, but that's about it. What more can I say about this boring, poorly themed, unoriginal attraction other than just skip it? So, with the worst out of the way, let's now move on to the best attractions in the park. Eric, what do you think?
Alright, some positivity. So my favorite ride, without a doubt, at Islands of Adventure, is the new Jurassic World Velocicoaster. I am more of a roller coaster and thrill seeker kind of guy than a dark ride theming based guy, because I'm more about just adrenaline and having a fun time than being blown away by immersion. Velocicoaster nails it in both respects, but it appeals much more to the thrill aspect for me. I really love this ride. It's one of the greatest amusement rides I've ever been on, without a doubt my favorite ride in Florida, period, and it's against some pretty stiff competition. It's just a near perfect experience. The queue is really fantastic. I love the animatronics, the way you go through, the really beautiful window you get to look out as you're looking to see the car go by before you load onto yours. The story behind the ride is really fun and well thought out. The fact that it's themed to a roller coaster means you don't have to be themed to not being a roller coaster and try to hide that aspect, which I think is a big plus. I really love this one. Another big, great element for me is just the ride as a whole. The layout's fantastic. The first half is really good, with some strong airtime, intense moments, and some really beautiful theming. I love the parts where you go past the raptor statues, and the second half is just amazing, with the Mosasaur roll possibly being the best element I've ever been on. It's just an amazing roller coaster. Currently, my fourth favorite amusement ride I've ever been on anywhere. If that doesn't speak to how great Velocicoaster is, I don't know what does. It's without a doubt my favorite attraction at Islands of Adventure.
Another great choice. I don't think anyone was disappointed with the addition of this amazing new coaster. A great storyline, theming, and plenty of thrills. I also recommend this great attraction. Although I do love coasters, unlike Eric, I am more of a dark ride kind of guy. That is why I have chosen The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man as my favorite attraction in Universal Islands of Adventure. It's strange that both my best and worst attractions are in the same land, but it goes to show that this attraction has stood the test of time. It still holds up today as it did when it first opened in 1999. The ride has a great mixture of 3D screens, practical sets, and effects, as well as a really fun and exciting storyline featuring lots of Spider-Man villains. The same ride system has gone on to be used for Transformers The Ride over in Universal Studios Orlando and the newly opened Jurassic World Adventure in Universal Studios Beijing, which just goes to show the popularity of the ride. The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man has also won many awards, including Best Dark Ride for 12 years in a row at the Golden Ticket Awards. If you have never been on the Velocicoaster or the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, we urge you to go to Islands of Adventure right now and give them a go. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for joining me, Eric.
Thanks for having me. It was really great to be here and talk about one of my favorite theme parks.
No problem. Please don't forget to check out Theme Park Avenue for his great content. If you enjoyed this episode, then please give it a thumbs up, and why not check out episode 1 right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Disney Parks Addict.